This is the Performance Management at Vitality Health Enterprises Incorporated case analysis by Alexandria Thibault, Sydney Thornton, and Raquel Castellan. Vitality was originally founded in 1987 in Iowa by Hikaru Kikuchi. He got the idea when his wife was complaining about the American skincare and how she missed the skincare in Japan. He started using family connections to get products from Japan into the United States. It started in his garage and grew into a multi-million-dollar business through his promotions and word of mouth. The company changed to Vitality Health Enterprises when it bought out Herbapure Nutraceuticals, expanding their skincare products into overall body care products as well. With the expansion, Kikuchi maintained his vision by matching it to the corporate strategy to one of his favorite sayings, quote, "Outer beauty can only be achieved as inner harmony is reached," end quote. While they had seen great success, they started having issues with their performance management evaluation system as the company grew. In the mid-2008 era, global economic crisis brought stagnation to Vitality's growth. Beth Williams was made CEO and brought a disciplined operational mindset, being known throughout the industry for reducing global production costs by 12% during 3 years at the helm of B&W Beauty. The problem for Vitality Health Enterprises was their performance evaluation system. Originally, the system they had in place evaluated employees on their job requirements and was based on a base salary in combination with a point system for bonuses. Employees earned points during their yearly evaluation, and then their points were then multiplied to the dollar amount allocated to each point and added to a base salary to get their monthly pay. However, employees felt the system was not fair due to managers not conducting evaluations fairly. Managers did not want to cause any tension between their teams by rating employees differently, even if those ratings were accurate. Vitality Health Enterprises Incorporated needed a revamp of its employee evaluation system, and quickly employees were becoming more and more disgruntled as time went on. After hiring Beth Williams for the executive suite of Vitality Health Enterprises, she decided to recreate the performance management system that the company used. She assembled a performance management evaluation team, PMET, to help her do so. They studied previous evaluations and rewards, made focus groups, and conducted employee interviews. PMET decided to keep the pay policy about 7.5% higher than competitors and restructure the evaluation system. The goal was to decrease employee turnover and incentivize managers to perform the evaluations correctly while weeding out the employees that were not performing. To do this, they created labels which had a target percentage for how many employees they needed and wanted to reach that label, and all interviews were conducted in January for the previous year. The company had 13 different rating levels from A to E, including pluses and minuses, which led the way for managerial abuse. PMET discovered that many managers gave almost everyone a B or C rating and rarely gave E's, which resulted in homogeneous ratings that failed to distinguish performers from non-performers. However, when they reassembled to evaluate how well the plan was working 2 years after implementation, they found not all employees loved the new system, and managers felt overloaded by having to do all evaluations in January. Further, they found managers felt pressure to label a certain number of employees under each label given to meet company objectives. So, how can they resolve their issues and get a performance management system that works? The first issue resolution would be to remove labels. One way Vitality Health Enterprises Incorporated could ease tensions caused by these evaluations would be to remove the labels given to employees during evaluations. The current performance management system requires managers to label employees as a top achiever, low achiever, or unacceptable. Those who have been with the company less than a year are considered not rated and therefore ineligible for pay increases and other applicable incentives. During the surveys conducted by PMET Part 2, the company found that employees felt the labels given to them were dividing and degrading. By eliminating the labels, Vitality Health Enterprises would be able to increase team morale and cohesion. This alone would probably help increase productivity and allow the company to reach its goals more quickly. We feel that they could change the labels back to a point system. Reverting back to a point system for pay raises would remove labels while still allowing employees to see benefits based on their work. For example, what is now top achievers could be changed to a category that requires 700 evaluation points and up. A second solution would be the time occurrence of evaluations. If we were to be running Vitality Health Enterprises, we would also revert back to doing evaluations at the time of employee anniversaries instead of all in January. The feedback surveys from PMET Part 2 also revealed that managers felt overwhelmed by all of the evaluations at one time and felt they could be spending their time doing something more productive. This leads us to believe that this process for evaluations is causing the managers to rush the evaluations and make them unfair and inaccurate. Moving evaluations to one of the employees' anniversaries, the evaluations could be completed with accuracy and fairness while not overloading anyone's plate. This would also prevent employees who are missing out on bonuses with current system from doing so, since each employee would receive an evaluation, a possible raise, and other applicable benefits at the end of each of their year. A third resolution would be that PMET should perform the evaluations. On top of the other two issue resolutions, we feel that the PMET or the Human Resources Department should perform the evaluations instead of the managers. A best practice would be to have them, either the PMET or HR department, assemble as a board once a month for the employees whose anniversary is in that month, conduct interviews with each employee and his or her manager separately, and evaluate performance of each employee based on their outcomes, developments, work times, in the field work, etc. This would help employees feel less pressure to impress their managers or create a relationship with them in hopes of bias at times of evaluation and allow them to focus on doing their jobs. Managers would also feel less pressure to give standard ratings at evaluation time, allowing them to lead their team. Both employees and managers would be able to give and receive feedback, and overall cohesion of that department's team would be increased. Further, with them acting as the HR team, they would be able to handle the issues when employees try to inquire about why they did not receive a raise or receive more evaluation points. This would make a workday easier with tensions between managers and employees reduced, since management would have no actual control over the evaluation points and pay raises given. Our team's overall best solution for Vitality Health would be the 3-point system. We feel that a best solution would be for Vitality Health Enterprises to implement all three of the issue resolutions we propose, with making the PMET or Human Resources Department do the yearly evaluations coming first. Implementing all of these while keeping the basis of the current system will resolve both employee and management concerns, while still allowing Vitality Health to keep its system of seeing which employees are performing and which ones are not. Implementing all three issue resolutions alongside each other would be done by creating a 3-step system. Obviously, the acting Human Resources Department would conduct an interview with the employee's manager, and on-the-job evaluation as stated above, while comparing reports of outcome, work times, and so on. PMET 2, or the actual HR department, will conduct 3 rounds of interviews, allowing employees to earn their own points versus just being assigned points that determine their salaries by their managers. By re-implementing the point system, but doing so differently, employees would no longer feel that they were being labeled, and would also take away stress the managers feel from having to give their employees a label. Employees would be able to speak for themselves, and managers would be able to speak to both the positive and negative qualities of each employee instead of having to choose a broad category. The acting Human Resources Department would be able to gather an assessment and assign points based on their in-field evaluations. Each portion of the interviews and evaluations would be worth 10 points, with the acting HR department assigning those points based off of performance, attitude, professionalism, and developments. Each category would obviously be evaluated from each person's point of view, the employee's manager, and what the acting Human Resources Department sees in the field. Further, conducting these interviews and points assessment at each employee's anniversary again would keep newer employees from being skipped over the way they are being with the current system. Vitality Health Enterprises Incorporated has now had 2 evaluation systems that could have worked. We feel that our proposed tweaks to each of the 2 systems, one past and the other current, will combine the best of each system. This will satisfy employees, managers, and the company moving forward, while allowing increased benefits for employees and allow growth and employee satisfaction moving forward.